Yo! Welcome to my channel. I'm Aswa, and for those of you who are new, I am a commercial film director, or to put it simply, I'm a film director, and I direct TV commercials for global brands such as Samsung, Coke, Pepsi, all the stuff, all that stuff you see on TV and sometimes on YouTube. And I've been a commercial film director for, I'd say, roughly it's been a bit over 10 years. So what I'll be covering today it's a question I get a lot, and this is for specifically those who have no idea about my industry, or for young or new directors that are out there who are keen on becoming a commercial film director. So I'll get asked this question a lot. What do you actually do? Like, what do you do on set? So today I'll just be covering what film directors actually do on set. I gather people have this image of a director with a megaphone and screaming and ordering people what to do and whatnot, but actually that's far from the truth. That would usually be the role of an AD. AD stands for assistant director. Usually the film director is seated in what's called a video village, and hopefully I'll have an image to show so that you can get an idea. So there is basically a monitor, a table and a chair for the director to sit on, and we basically observe what's being shot, and he communicates either through to the assistant director, or we have like a walkie-talkie, like a receiver or a headset. I prefer a headset, but it depends what's available. So basically I will communicate via receiver or through a headset, usually to the cinematographer. So before we do the take, I will tell the cinematographer, okay, I want the camera to move this way, I want it to pan to the left, and as the talent turns his or her head, then we zoom in or something. Basically, yeah, that's what the director does on set. All that screaming, let's see, I don't know why my phone keeps tilting. I need to stop that. Yeah, so usually the director is observing and watching the monitor, and if there's any changes needed, then after the take he will communicate with the cinematographer and will say, okay, look, I think the camera movement was a little fast, let's notch it down a bit, let's go a little slower, and let's dolly in after the turn or something. Also, the agency and clients, they also have their own separate video village, and so after a take they may have some feedback or a comment, and they will communicate to me via receiver, or they will talk to the producer or the AD to communicate to me or let me know, okay, something needs to change, or maybe they'll say, oh, the logo was not clear, or let's make the logo more centered, and so we'll do another take. So in most cases, when you visit a set, you'll see the director sitting on a chair looking at a monitor. That's basically what the director does. He doesn't really scream and shout. That's usually the AD who, for example, I will communicate to the AD and I'll tell him, okay, in this scene we need to do this, and then the AD will communicate with the talents, so on and so forth. The screaming and stuff happens when usually there isn't much screaming and shouting. However, it does happen, and it happens when things don't work or when the problem persists. Then some screaming and shouting does occur. So on my sets, I prefer no screaming. So I just find that it doesn't speed up the process. I think it's all just basically about communication. And so if you can just clearly communicate your ideas, or you try and solve the problem and find a solution. So, and not all directors are always seated at the video village. For example, okay, so I don't really like those typical receivers because they're really hard to make out what people are saying, and vice versa. When I try and give out an order, then I find that what they're replying back is usually the response I receive is not really answering the question, and I'm gathering because they cannot clearly hear what I'm saying, which is why I much prefer the headset, because that's really clear, and I don't really hear like the ambient sounds. I just hear the voice. But for the longest time, and still to this day, I would actually go to the set and talk to the cinematographer face to face, or the AD. Usually I like to be a bit more active and not feel too comfortable, so I prefer to stand up from time to time, get the blood circulating, and sometimes when you're there on the set, you can see things a bit more clearly, like how, okay, oh, there's that spot here, I find it's a bit empty, or oh, maybe we can move the camera to that corner, which you will not see when you're just observing, just looking at the monitor. For me, at times I like to actually go on set and move around a bit and just observe and see. Sometimes I like to see how it's lit, and how shadows are created, and sometimes I want the shadow to be a bit more wider or a bit more darker, or sometimes I want like a softer shadow, and that is not really showing in the monitor. Oh, here we go. See, it keeps, let me just adjust that. Yeah, so that's the question I always get. And especially for people who are not in the industry at all, they think the director has knowledge in cinematography and like just all departments, and I'm like, look, basically I tell them, look, what I actually do is I just tell people what to do. So basically the director just creates his vision and tells people, okay, I want it like this, like this, because that's how I see it in my head. I'm not really ordering people around. Obviously I say it in a nice way, and I think again, communication is key, making sure everyone feels comfortable. I find that people don't work well when they're nervous, and there are times you need to be firm, and because who knows, like things could just, there are signs I guess you can see, like over the years that I've worked, there are signs where you can see things are going at a slow pace, and time is money, right? So you need to really get them to speed up. Hey, come on, we got 5 more shots, let's get this one down. So basically that's what a director does. It's not really on the megaphone. However, it's different in other countries. Like for example, a good example is in Korea, where the director kind of plays both roles as director and AD. So there's like a big speaker and he has a mic, and he will directly communicate that way to the cinematographer and to the talent. I guess it's different in depending on which country you're at, but in most cases you would have the AD tell people what to do and where to position things, while the director just basically communicates with the AD. And I would usually communicate with the AD and with the cinematographer, and at times you'll have the producer come up to you, because they're the ones who are communicating between you and the client, and so they might come to me from time to time, or talk through the receiver and say, oh look, the client's a little confused about this shot, could you explain what you're trying to do in this particular scene? Or sometimes the producer will ask me, oh, could you come to the video village like, can you come to the client? Can you communicate? Like, you know, we need to really sell this shot. So yeah, just to speed things up, just to make sure also that the client is clear and understands my intention, then yeah, that's what the director basically does. Doesn't really run around with a megaphone and orders people around. However, like I said, in Korea, it's kind of like that. It's not really a megaphone. They just have like a normal microphone with a you know, it's like a movable speaker, so that everyone on set can hear. But yeah, but usually things are done silently through the receiver or through the headset, and headset is the most ideal. Of course, there are some directors who are just always seated at the video village. They never leave, and yeah, and it depends. Every director is different. Every director has their own methods and what is comfortable for them. But in my case, I like to be both at the village and on set, for the reasons that I've explained earlier. So yeah, if you have any questions, other questions on what directors do on set, or anything else on yeah, on what directors do, then yeah, hit me up. Leave your questions in the comment section. Again, follow me on my socials. Visit me on Instagram at aswa_han. Visit my website, aswahan.com. I'm also doing a passion project, and you can help out in donating by going to my website, and there's a donate button. You can pay via PayPal, or you can visit my Patreon, become a member. Tiers start from $1 to $5, and on top of that, you get exclusive content. Here we go again. You get exclusive content, and I'll be releasing an ebook soon. And so if you choose the $5 membership tier, you'll receive that ebook for free. While once it's released, I do plan to sell it. It might be sold for a little bit more, maybe $6, but why not take advantage and become a member and get all those exclusive contents plus the ebook. Until then, yeah, and again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'm more than happy to answer them. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.